Hello, Steve White, or Trick Boy for Steve Arts 89. Well, this is a surprise. I thought Star Trek 4, the JJ universe Star Trek 4, was dead. Um, After Star Trek 3, there was talks immediately, actually, before Star Trek Beyond premiered, they actually had announced they were going to make a fourth film with Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine playing Kirk and Daddy Kirk, and they had some sort of time travel story that was going to unite the two, who of course had never met because Kirk died. I mean, Daddy Kirk died before Baby Kirk was born. Um, but it fell apart. Basically, Pine and Hemsworth walked away because they weren't offered the amount of money they were promised, because there were budget issues, because deals with China fell through, and so forth and so on. So it looked like it was all dead. But today, Deadline reports that Paramount is in final talks with Noah Hawley to write and direct the next Star Trek film. Through his 26 Keys production banner, he will produce along with J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot banner. The understanding is Hawley will helm the film, and in this iteration of the venerable franchise, with the Enterprise led by the usual crew, Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, Carl Urban. They don't mention John Cho. Does Sulu have his own ship? I don't know. Have they just forgotten about the Asian actor? I don't know. Well, I don't know what that's about. But I haven't seen his name mentioned yet. Maybe he's busy. I don't know. But this is kind of shocking. I'm really surprised that it's happened. Now, because the issue is money, and I'm like, well, where do they suddenly get the money after they just had a couple of bombs? Where do they have the money to produce this film? Because that's what it was all about. It all came down to money. They did not have the money without the names. Now, if they've got Chris Pine back and they're doing a story that doesn't require Chris Hemsworth, then I guess it makes some sense. They don't need as much money because he was going to cost a lot of money. But I don't know. This is not a done deal yet. He's supposed to script and direct the film. He's been working on X-Men Universe, Legion, Fargo. He did a film called Lucy in the Sky. It did okay. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know why they're tapping him, because originally they were going to have a female director who was... I cannot find her name. Yeah, they were going to work with a female director, and basically everything fell through. S.J. Clarkson, that fell through. She left the project because the funding fell through and there were delays, and she had other options, and she couldn't just sit and hope it happened. She had other work, so she left. And that was a big coup to have a female director, because that's a thing. But they've lost the female director, but they've got a male director. And already the trolls are talking that, Star Trek 4 isn't getting woke, so it's not going to go broke, because they ditched the female director and they went back to a male director, which is not what happened. So I don't know what that's about. I didn't even read that article. I couldn't stomach it. But yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if I want it, because without Chekhov, I kind of felt when Anton Yelchin passed, and the idea of not having Chekhov in the film, the cast being broken up, the original cast was never broken up. I kind of thought, I think it's okay. Just let it die. They've got a nice little sort of trilogy, featured the original Spock in each one. Just leave it as it is, and then reboot it in a few years with different actors or something. But you know what? I would rather this than the horrors, the absolute horrors of the Tarantino propositions that we were hearing. Yeah, so I'd much rather a Star Trek 4 going ahead with pretty much the main cast, just having a very individual Star Trek adventure, like maybe exploration, maybe meeting new races, maybe getting off Earth, and not just having a cliched villain like every other film. Something more like Star Trek 1 or 4, where it's a crisis, a situation, a mystery that has to be solved, resolved, dealt with, not just, baddie wants to kill us, we killed the baddie. That's basically all we've gotten for the last few films. And yes, I'm bitter about it because I'm sick of it. Star Trek is not The Wrath of Khan. The Wrath of Khan did really well, and then everyone in Hollywood and the general audience who doesn't understand Star Trek thought that's what Star Trek is. So every film since has tried to be Wrath of Khan, and it's just, oh God. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Part of me is scared that, I don't know. I guess if they just do a Star Trek 4, it'll be fine. If they do a Tarantino, they try and get him to write or something. If they try and bring in that element, it's just going to tank. If they go down that route, the non-Star Trek route, the blood and action and swearing and gore and Star Trek not for the fans, then it's going to do worse than Beyond. Beyond had a few issues, and the marketing was really bad. They tried to promote it as something other than a Star Trek movie, so people weren't interested. And the other films, each film promised Star Trek. It promised to, literally at the end of each film, they promised to boldly go where no man has gone before, and then the next film, they're back on Earth fighting a terrorist or a villain, and no exploration. The only part of any of the Star Trek those films that was Star Trek was the first part of Into Darkness, when they were on the planet saving that race and breaking the rules. That was the only part of those films that was actually resembled Star Trek. That's why they showed it in IMAX, just that scene, that segment, and brought people in thinking that's what the film was going to be like, and then it ended up being whitewashed Khan, rehashing the Wrath of Khan as best they could. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm shocked, and I don't know, and I probably should have thought more before I made a video. But if they can give us a Star Trek adventure, Star Trek 4, great. If they want to keep going down that same non-Star Trek route, it's just going to do worse than Beyond. Because Beyond was a good film. It was a very Star Trek film, but it was promoted as, Pike on a dirt bike, basically, or sorry, Pine on a dirt bike, and just, yeah, we don't even want to think about that. We don't want to go back there. But this will be interesting to see if this goes anywhere and where it goes. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, and tell me what you think, or if you know anything, let me know. This is a surprise.